All right. Let me see if all settled. Just give me 1 minute. Can you mute guys yourself? Is it my screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Good. Very good. All right. Hi, Ricky. Injury healing. What's your name? May I know your name? Ricky Injury Healing. What's your name? Hello, Ricky.
Saket.
Saqib. Okay, okay. Let me rename it. Saqib.
Saket, not a Saket. I'm going to rename it.
Okay, okay. Just rename it, please. Saqib. Thank you. Thank you so much, Saqib. All right. Thanks, guys, for joining this meeting. And let's start. So before I start, because in our previous fundamental sessions, we discuss about the underlay, we discuss about the overlay, we discuss about the rib and fib, routing protocol versus routed protocol. Still, there is no related to the SD-WAN, but just we discuss fundamental thing. So you guys have any questions?
Sir, is it the second class or third class?
Still, SD-WAN session is not started. We're just building the basic fundamentals. Just you can technically think about the first class or second class because we have done some basic concept discussion. Means what is underlay, what is overlay, like that. So today we are going to start actual SD-WAN fundamental, right? Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now let's talk about the difference between WAN versus, let me clear this screen. Let's have discuss about WAN versus SD-WAN. Anyone know what is difference between the WAN versus SD-WAN? What is the WAN? Anyone?
Sir, when we are configuring a routing protocol, all the traditional things we do to establish our connectivity.
Okay. And what is SD-WAN?
Sir, I on Google I searched, so it's a software-defined network. Other than that, I'm new on this, so I don't know.
Definitely, I completely understand. You guys are new on this, so no need to.
Software defines that means is there any template or some script while using this we can configure WAN technologies?
Very nice, Raja. Really appreciate it. Anyone else want to define what is the WAN and what is the SD-WAN?
Sir, WAN is a traditional network through which we can connect the branch offices. And in this technology, we need to be configure and monitor all the devices individually. And we can, if we are going to be configure, we need to take the telnet session to configure each and every device. So this is a time consuming, and we need to really lots of resources to manage and monitor the networks. But in the case of SD-WAN, this is software defined. In this technology, we configure and monitor all the device to the centralized location on a single pane of glasses, and we can apply policy to the centralized.
Right, right. Makes sense. Good. Anyone else want to say difference between the WAN versus SD-WAN? Anyone else want to define any other version? Guys, come on, come on. Might be you can define the WAN. I'll define the SD-WAN, but I'm just assuming everyone coming from the WAN background.
Sir, from my point of view, in WAN means so the routing decisions will be taken by the router only. And in SD-WANs, so we both data traffic and the control traffic go through the single device. Maybe I'm wrong, but
Yeah, at least you try. That's more appreciated, right? So no need to worry about that, right? Thanks,
okay.
Rakesh. Thank you so much. Great. Who joined with the name of the 914824? May I know your name, please, if you don't mind? The name 914824. May I know your name? I can rename you. Okay. So, guys, if I talk about the WAN, right? So, as we know, WAN is the wide area network, right? So, this is known as the wide area network. And when you talk about, can you
Good
mute?
evening, sir.
Yeah, please. Hi, Nashad. Good evening. If I talk about SD-WAN, that is your software defined, right? Wide area network. So this is the story of the your SD-WAN, right? So now let's talk about in which situation we use the WAN and which situation we use the SD-WAN and why we are talking to use the SD-WAN. Why not we are going to use the WAN? So if something has been upgraded, that means that have the better feature, right? Let's suppose you have the Android phone, which is might be running on version 12 and 13, and you are going to get the Android phone that is the working on the version 15 or 16. Similar for the iPhones, we have the different release 16 like dot something iOS is there, 17 is there, 18 is there. So if you are going to get better iOS, you are going to get better feature. Similarly, there was a WAN technology that is a legacy technology, right? Traditional WAN we call as a traditional WAN means this is the old WAN, right? Old method of doing the wide area networking, right? So how it was happening means if I want to define, let's suppose we have the branch locations, they want to communicate. So if I just want to draw some small topology, so you guys can correlate. Let's suppose this is my branch. This is the branch one. And let's suppose this is my branch two. And let's suppose this is my branch three. So they want to talk. So they required some sort of the WAN transport, right? This could be your MPLS network and this could be your internet network, right? And the most important, let's suppose you have the R1 and you have the R2, or might be the one location you have the single just R1 router and this one having the R2 and this one having the R1. So if the dual connectivity, so one is going to carry the MPLS, one is going to carry the MPLS internet. Similarly, might be this R1 is going to carry the internet and this is going to carry the MPLS. But if you have the single circuits, so might be in this scenario, I need to terminate both of the circuits on the single router on the same interfaces. So there could be the challenges because if this router is going to be down, my failover is not going to be happen because there is no redundant devices. But in this scenario, if my this router is going to down, still my R2 is going to carry and give the reachability because we design such way our networking where my primary and backup path is going to be there. So what was the challenge in this design? This is a your WAN design, right? Means WAN architecture. So basically, this WAN architecture are going to use technologies like MPLS, lease line, which is also known as lease line, or might be the internet circuit. And if I talk about to design, then what is going to happen? Let's suppose we have the subnet. Just take about this is a subnet. And let's suppose this is also have the subnet, right? And this is also have a subnet. So if they want to talk, so how it is going to happen? They first, the user must reach to the routers, either primary, either secondary, and router will take a decision which path I'll need to take to reach from one network to another network by using the either MPLS circuit or internet circuit. So decision is going to happen, the brain is going to happen on the router itself. That's the basic architecture, right? Even this router want to talk, this also going to take a decision on the R1 router only. So in that situation, if my this brain is going to be down, then I should design some failover mechanism. Might be in LAN, I need to run the HSRP, I need to run the VRRP to gateway level redundancy, or might be I'll run some IGP protocols like OSPF, right? EIGRP, or some other techniques. Might be the static routing as well. So, so my decision is going to happen based on these protocols from one source to another destination. So might be I'll use the first hop redundancy protocol and the other IGP. So they have to do some kind sort of the like we have to do some kind of load balancing. If this is going to down, then this path is going to take in. So everything was good. There is no problem at all. But when problem started, the problem started when we come to the cloud era. Means when I start using the Azure cloud, might be the AWS cloud, might be the GCP cloud. So earlier what was happening, we have the data centers or application we hosting in the one data centers. Let me just clear so I can just explain more better. Just hold on, guys. So I hope you guys understand this concept. So in earlier in WAN scenario, what was happening? Most of the time, my data center network is going to build. Let's think about this is my data center network, right? This is my DC. DC again have the R1, again have the R2. They are going to make the connectivity with different transport, right? So in that scenario, my server is going to be hosted S1, might be I'm going to host S2, might be I'm going to host S3. So different server is going to host. So they are going to leverage different path and they're going to make the connectivity. Either I can build the MPLS or might be using the public internet, I can build the IPsec tunnels. That is also possible. So by using this internet, I can build the IPsec tunnel. So securely, even I can make the communication that is known as a side-to-side VPN or IPsec tunnel. Client-to-side VPN is not required here, but between two sites, I can do DM VPN and all. So everything was fine, but what if the company owners start hosting the application instead of a data center on these cloud locations? So might be you move server from here to here. Might be some server you move here in the cloud, right? S1, S2, or might be the S3. So what is going to happen? This also required your connectivity via this transport. And also you have to make sure they have to build the secure connectivity via the IPsec or via the MPLS. Then here the cost is going to play a very vital role. Means if you're going to build everywhere lease line to make your SaaS application. What is SaaS application? Let's suppose the O365, any cloud applications, right? So your cost is going to be increased. Means everywhere you have to hire the WAN providers, you have to pay so they can go and design your WAN infrastructure from your office to your different applications servers which are hosted in different platforms. So that's the one challenge, right? Additionally, what is going to be happen if I have to build a lot of IPsec tunnel. Let's suppose I want to save the cost. I don't want to use the MPLS circuit. So if I want to build a lot of IPsec tunnel from the all locations, so that is going to add the lot of complexity. What is the complexity? Means you have to do the configuration IPsec. IPsec in nature of the configuration is very complex. Troubleshooting in nature is a very complex. So anyhow, when are going to design this IPsec it is again going to add additional layer of the complexity to do the failover. There is no network agility. So it's not more flexible. It's required a lot of effort doing the troubleshooting. So that's another problem. So the network is not scalable. The cost is going to be very high. And what else? These are just two things. The third thing you think about, let's suppose this R1 are running the BGP. This is also running the BGP, right? And eBGP. And in the LAN, you are running the OSPF. Let's suppose this is a switch and you are running the OSPF in the LAN. And let's suppose this link is going to be down for some region, right? So might be you configure the very good auto failover. So your traffic is might be going to shift from the primary link to secondary link. That's completely understandable. It is going to be happen. There is no problem at all. But what if my link is up? What if my link is up and this link have the packet loss? Intermittent packet loss. This failover is going to happen or not? Can someone tell me? What if this link have the packet loss? Will they going to be have the failover?
No, sir.
Manually, we need to do.
No, automatically it will not.
Automatically, it
What
is not going to be
will
happen,
happen?
right? So in this case, what you have to do that you require the manual failover, right? So the manual failover, who can do that? The manual failover, who can do that? The person who have very good BGP knowledge, very good OSPF knowledge, they have the very good redistribution knowledge, right? Then they can OSPF might be running the HSRP, and also they have very good redistributions, mean the how to distribute the protocol from one to another. So that is also going to be happen. In this scenario, if you being the L2, you make any mistakes, so your failover is not going to happen, your outage is going to be happen. Means your network is going to be down. So you might be being L2, you have to engage L3, and L3 are going to might be a struggle and they have to do a lot of learning and then it is going to be happen. So that's again challenge for here, right? So means if any incident is going to be triggered, the network itself is not that much flexible who can discover itself how to solve this problem. Means the WAN is the legacy method. They don't have any kind of the software intelligence available in that WAN who can automatically understand what I have to do the next if something is going to happen. Means there is no program has been done. And this is something making SD-WAN better from the WAN. So I'll talk SD-WAN later, but let's understand. Now let's talk about another scenario. I'm just clearing this all graph. Let's talk about another scenario. We have the different branches. Right? Let's suppose this is the any providers. They have the different routers. R1, R2, R1, R2, R1, R2, R1, R2. So if you have to upgrade the OS version, let's think about you have to upgrade the OS version. So how generally you guys do that of software upgradation process? Anyone can tell me how basically you do the iOS upgradation process for this as normal routers?
We
Any
need to take the telnet of the router switch of the devices, and then we uh, copy the file from the TFTP server.
copy file iOS, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, before that, we need to take downtime of the devices if it is in production.
Downtime is going to require what else?
We require
Sorry,
Human
field
resources.
engineer, FE,
Achha, field is going to require, right? F is going to require what else?
Backup.
Backup. Yes, that's very good backup. What else? So you can see itself, right? So if you have to do this this all process, you require like some SSH telnet tool. You require the FTP server. By using that, you can transfer the file. You require the iOS, you need to download, and then you have to do the configurations. Means you have to download and upload, and then you have to check the MD5 sequence. Everything you have to do that. Field engineer need to align. You have to take a backup. You have to do some kind of the pre and post check as well. So there are a lot of steps are going to be happen, and even after that steps, it is not very much sure you are going to successfully upgrade the iOS. Might be there are some other dependency. Your internet is not working. Your FE laptop is not working. Some kind of the USB file is not, USB drive is not working. FTP is not working. So by doing the one router, might be it require 1 day. By doing the two router, might be require the 1 day or 2 days. So if you have 100 of routers, thousands of routers, so it require the major project where your multiple resources is going to be there, and they have to do the work. So again, it is going to make more costly for the company, more dependency on the engineers who can perform a lot of manual work. So that's the another things. Let's suppose on all routers, you have to do a single line configuration. Just you want to change the SNMP configuration, right? Might be any ACL you want to apply. So how you are going to do that? You have to log in every routers and you have to do the manual configuration, or might be you have to purchase some automation tool, right? Then only you can do that. Do you guys agree with me? Make sense? Is it possible I can just sit on one place and I can do all in one go? That is not possible unless or until you're going to buy a third party tool, or might be you're going to do the manual job. So that's the another challenges. Means any configuration, any planned activity, you have to do that. You have to touch all the devices. Might be the one by one. You have to take downtime and you have to do a lot of arrangement to just do that work. That's the another problem. So failover, we have a problem. We have some kind of the day-to-day activity problem. We have the cloud integration problem. We have such of the complexity problem, cost problem. What else? If I talk about the security, let's suppose in this architecture, let's suppose we have some internet cloud, right? This is my internet cloud. And we have again the branch. This is the branch 1 connected with the internet. This is my branch 2 connected with the internet. So if they want to communicate, or even over the MPLS, let's suppose you want to communicate, you want to go on the internet. So these are the normal routers. So if I want to make sure certain port should be go on the internet, certain application should go on the internet, certain website should open on the internet. So do these routers have the capability? The firewall feature they available? Means the security feature are they available with this particular, sorry. So if I talk about, so we have to think, are they able to do the security or firewall work? This router is capable. The answer is no. Unless or until we are going to install some module, externally we have to do some alignment, even the limited feature. So if I want to secure, I need to purchase third-party firewall. Might be I will apply my firewall in the LAN. This could be the Palo Alto firewall, FortiGate firewall, ASA firewall, checkpoint firewall, etc. So that again going to add a cost. And at the same time, I need to hire an engineer who can manage these firewalls. So that's the another problem. But can I eliminate this firewall by using the SD-WAN? That we will explore. So we have the lot of challenges. I'll just go and explain more things.
So, Vishal, can I ask one question?
Yeah, please. You're welcome,
Yeah.
Manu.
So, yeah, actually, this doubt I had like earlier also. I just want to know it is partial or complete. Like if you going for SD-WAN and we have the technology, and in that case we don't require any firewall in our network. You're saying, or like a
Yes.
firewall,
If
IPS,
you
all these.
want to, if you want to bypass, it's the complete feature. You can bypass the firewalls.
all the security profile, all other than
Let
this,
me show you. Let me show you live. You guys see that? It's a good question. So I'm the instructor of the security as well. So I can show you the right way. So you can understand what all feature available with the firewall. Just hold on. Let me show you. So I'll go here.
And also, I just want to know, like, if we are creating a new infrastructure, in that case, we may go for these things. For the existing infrastructure, maybe, is there, what is the real time? Like, what customer is following? They'll keep firewall as well as this SD-WAN,
Yeah, definitely. There are even firewall is going to be some case requirement customer use, because if you use the Palo Alto firewall, Checkpoint firewall, FortiGate firewall, they are the pure firewall vendors, right? Even this Cisco SD-WAN devices have this firewall feature, but they have some limitations. If you just compare with the your legacy Palo Alto and the FortiGate, almost you can do the feature, but in that particular firewall, they have some advanced feature. Might be you're not going to find in there. So if you are the normal customer, you not do some advanced thing. So that is okay. But almost every feature is available. Might be, we are going to buy a phone, right? In a market. One is the Samsung phone, right? And one is the MI phone. Both are a smartphone. All features are going to find, right? But might be MI is going to give the low performance in terms of the camera quality, in terms of the processors, in terms of the heating capacity, in terms of the premium feel. So exactly both are going to do the same thing, but only the brand is not going to be bit. So the Palo Alto brand and FortiGate brand is totally unique, and they have the great user experience. They have the great brand value, and they have great some sort of features. So you can see even in the Cisco SD-WAN, what generally required? We required intrusion preventions, right? Application filtering, URL filtering, right? We can do the application firewall, advanced malware protection, DNS security. You can see. So everything you can do from here. Application filtering. So almost generally we do for this only in the firewall. These all are the available. So if I want to use, we can go and create. I'll show you later on when we start this session. You can see there the intrusion prevention system, URL filtering, advanced malware, DNS security. So this all is going to, this is the firewall. So every feature is available, and this is exactly next generation firewall. By using, we can do the work. Clear, Mr. Manoj?
Yes. Understood.
Okay, very good. Now let's move to the topic. So if I want to use the firewall, it is going to add the lot of cost here. So can I just eliminate all these problem by using the SD-WAN? That's the question. Can I do that? So definitely if we have the better solution, then only we are going to use the SD-WAN. That is the software defined networking. So software defined networking, I'll talk more about the WAN problem. I'll show the slide it as well later on. But in software defined networking means earlier it was just WAN, means wide area network. But in this WAN, we add something very important, that is the software defined. Means we added some software, some program, right, in the WAN, and then it's become the SD-WAN. Means this software have the intelligence, this software have the intelligence, and is going to be this intelligence is going to be do the real time analysis for the problem which I discuss. Means what problem? Let's suppose my link have the latency, right? So earlier we not have the capability to understand why latency is there and what latency is there. I have to do auto failover, right? So that was not possible, right? So we can do these things without involving my level 1, level 2 engineer, and the failover is going to happen automatically. Means you don't have to do anything. You build your SD-WAN fabric, there is a latency, the failover is going to happen. That's the great feature. In my legacy WAN, if I talk about the legacy WAN is something, if I want to define the legacy WAN, this legacy WAN is going to be, let's suppose this is my legacy WAN, and this legacy WAN want some kind of the, what I was trying to say. I was just thinking something. Okay, hold on. So basically, it's the software defined where we can do everything by using that particular auto. Oh yeah. So if you have to do the any routing, you can do the IP based routing. Means you only go for any source, any destination based on the IP. Can I do the routing? Can I do the routing based on application? And what is application? Like I want to do the routing based on the WhatsApp. I want to do the routing based on the Facebook. I want to do the routing based on the Instagram. Can I do that by using the WAN? The answer is no.
No.
We cannot do that. So if let's suppose you have a scenario, you have a two links, and you want to send some traffic based on the application. So let's think about this way. Just hold on. So just think about, this is my branch. This is the branch 1. They have another router R1 and they have the R2. This is a WAN related branch. And we have the again MPLS, and we have the another internet. So this is going to terminate in this way. Now I want to say, if any user coming from the switch, just think of this is switch, and my one client is sitting here, another client is sitting here, the client A and client B. If I'm going to say client A is coming for the Facebook traffic, it will always go via this link. So my Facebook traffic is going via this link. Can I do based on the Facebook application? I want to say WhatsApp should go via this one. This is not possible. You always have to do based on the routing, based on the default routing, based on the specific Facebook destination routing. So routing is going to happen based on your any short of your protocols, means BGP or static routing, and they are going to just check the your gateway, how to exit from the network and how to reach to particular destination. But if I'm going to use the SD-WAN, they have the capability, they can understand the IP and also understand the application. So they are going to do your job. If you want to do the Facebook based application routing, it is doable. If you want to do the WhatsApp, that is also doable. So there is no challenges going to happen at all. It's a very straightforward, right? Is it clear, everyone? Any question till here? Can someone tell me if any question you have? Guys?
Yeah, the thing is, hello, my name is Amrish. So you
Clear.
told means we can do routing based on application basis, right?
Right.
So how means any scenario is like that?
Yeah, a lot of scenario, right? There is a concept in the SD-WAN, application,
application aware routing.
yes, aware routing. This is the use case, right? So we'll do in the lab also. Even you can, I can show you right away. You have tested in the previous session. Let me show you the policy. So even we tested this on which date? This is the 28th February. So this is the policy. You can see application routing policy. So we tested, right? So it's a real use case. Let's suppose this is a topology, right? And just take an example. You have a requirement, you have the dual link. Let me use some different color. You have the dual link. One is your internet and one is the MPLS. In LAN, you are going to say that my Citrix traffic should go via this link and my SSH traffic is going via this link. So how can I do that? That require the SSH is the application, Citrix is the application. So we can do that, right? You're going to say, if I want to go on the Facebook, I'll follow the internet. But if I want to go some cloud-based application, let's suppose you want to go O365 application, Teams application, MS Teams application, Outlook application. This is again, you want to go where this MPLS. So this is the use case. Generally, we do that. So you don't have to depend on the IP because you don't know what is the range of the IP address, because O365 have the thousands of the IP address. Facebook have thousands of the IP address. So how many route you are going to take in routing table? So it's better take the default route and say your device, if this application is going to come, you send via this link. Make sense? Ambrose, if I'm not wrong, you asked this question.
Yes, yes.
It makes sense to
Thank
you?
you.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So this kind of the feature we have, and we can leverage this kind of feature, and we can build our intelligence on the SD-WAN fabric. Now let me go and share some kind of the PPT so you guys can correlate what I discussed. So now we talk about why we need the SD-WAN and what are the benefits we have in the SD-WAN. So I talk some real-time problem, and based on the real-time problem, we have to figure it out these software-defined WAN where we have the intelligence now. Can this solve the problem, right? So definitely answer is yes. It is going to solve your problem. It is going to become a good friend because it's have the lot of agility, lot of flexibility. So the very first thing, this SD-WAN is going to improve your performance. Why performance? Because they are going to give more flexible networking. They are going to give more agile network. They are going to give more automated network. Means even the incident is going to be happen, it is going to be automatically resolve or might be do the failover. So user experience is going to be always good. So that's why your performance is going to be there. Improve security means earlier discussed. If I have the legacy WAN, we have to use some sort of the firewall features because the WAN doesn't have any firewall features. So by using that firewall feature, we can do the control on the security parameters. Here it is already inbuilt. And if you want to deploy the security infrastructure, you want to do the firewall thing, application aware routing, you want to do some URL filtering, application filtering, DNS filtering, IPS, IDS, that is going to be there. Lower complexity means you don't have to do a lot of tunnel based configuration, redistribution. It's going to flat network means it is going to build your simple hub and spoke topology or spoke to spoke topology, full mesh topology by using the same method, IPsec tunnel. And even if you're having the some SaaS application, you can just use the GRE tunnel or maybe with IPsec tunnel without have the lot of dependency on other third-party providers. So you can use the DIA concept. So that's why you enable the cloud usage also. So complexity is going to be down, reduce your cost, and the most important, intent based networking. Means what is the intent based networking? Means it is going to give you the flexibility. By using that flexibility, what my organization intent, what I really want, and based on my business use case, I can use this particular intent based networking and I can settle my traffic parameter as per the organizational need. Means how I want to do that, which utilization I want to see, which application performance I want to see. This all can be happen without any problem. And also it is going to give the predictable application experience. Application aware routing, that also we discuss. Now there is two term. Meanwhile, anyone have any question till here? In any point? We'll discuss these 2 points now. Any question anyone have? Any point not understand? Please let me know. All good, guys? Can you raise your thumbs up so I can understand you are happy with this?
So, in a router, we need to configure the IPsec tunnel. Then in SD-WAN, we also need to configure IPsec tunnel, or it will
Automatically
automatically
configured,
create.
automatically created. I'll
Okay,
show you that. Okay, you don't have to do manual configuration. Okay,
got it, sir.
great. Chalo, let's move. Now there is a two term, zero touch provisioning and zero trust fabric. Anyone know, have you heard about these two terms? Anyone know what is zero trust fabric and zero trust provisioning? Anyone have any?
Yes. Yeah. Zero touch provisioning means we can say without manual information we can deploy the devices.
Yeah, very good, very nice. And what about zero
And
trust fabric?
zero trust means without any authentication, like we want it will work, we want without any authentication, no one can communicate. First means the work like we want is doing responsibilities. So uh, accounting authentication from the infra, we can say vBond.
Very nice, very nice. Good, Ambrose. Any other version, guys? Anyone want to say something? This is your opportunity. If you want to say, you can say. Do you have anything about the zero touch provisioning? You want to add something? And zero touch fabric as well.
Sir, zero.
Yes, please
Zero,
go ahead.
yeah, Madan here. Zero
Yes.
touch fabric means it's like unauthorized machines cannot be coming to
Hmm.
SD-WAN. That is my understanding. And zero touch provisioning, we need a FSO there to connect it to internet. But other than moving or connecting to console cable and doing those things and all, we can avoid it. But if we got a device in a site location which has an internet connection, it can other applications and software, iOS, everything we can push it from single point.
Got it. Good. Good. Madan, you want to say something? I want to listen your version as well.
Yes, sir. Zero touch means ability means automatic without manual effort. We can configure the SD-WAN. Just plug and play, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And zero trust means never trust anyone. Means never trust, always verify.
Mm.
Yes.
Good. Okay, guys. So let me talk this scenario, right? And let's understand. So I'll back to the again basic. I was talking about the WAN and SD-WAN concept. So let me back to that concept only, and I'll try to make you understand these two things. So first, I was talking. We have the branches, right? And branches have the different routers, right? This think about this the one branch. There's another branch, right? R1, R2. This is the another branch. So if you have to, let's suppose one router is going to faulty. This router is going to be faulty for some reason. So how you are going to do that router replacement? Anyone? If this router is faulty, right, and you have to replace. So how? What is the approach?
So just need to put the router in the latch and plug the power.
Sorry, Samay, your voice is not very much clear.
Sir, just need to put the router in the rack and give the power only to the router. Then it will.
Router need to put on rack. This is the first step. And second,
Second, power.
power on the router. Okay. What else? Anything else? How will
if
get new
you
router instead of the faulty router?
अगर मेरा speak in हिंदी सर.
Yes, please go ahead.
ओके अगर सर मेरा राउटर फॉल्टी हो गया साइड पे तो मीन्स वो राउटर तो अभी काम नहीं करेगा. तो सेकंड मुझे एक वहां पे नया राउटर लगाना पड़ेगा. उसके लिए मुझे एफई की जरूरत पड़ेगी. फर्स्ट सबसे पहले मुझे एक वहां पे एक पर्सन की जरूरत पड़ेगी.
How will get the router new? How will get the new router?
Sir, first we need to do the RMA.
हाँ यस फर्स्ट इट इज आरएमए.
Okay. So definitely router is faulty, so we require the RMA as well, right? With the Cisco or the vendor for the new router, right?
राइट सर.
Then what required after RMA? We required the even LCON, local contact, right?
एलसी लोकल कॉन्टेक्ट.
Local support, which is known as the hand and feet support, right? Local support required. What else required?
Backup file.
Backup file.
Laptop, console के
Backup configuration, very important. Without this backup configuration, how you can configure the new router, right? And to do this backup configuration, what kind of the solution we need?
Sir, but backup configuration will not share in the like in vManage.
Console.
Console cable, right? That also require the FTP connectivity, right? So you have to do a lot of things. Then you have to connect your LAN and WAN cables, right? You know, to do that, then you have to do the power on. So you have to do a lot of steps to just replace one router. Do you guys think there is required a lot of steps? But if it yes,
इसके लिए सर हमें डाउन टाइम भी लगेगा
downtime में चाहिए. So downtime is definitely because router down or downtime is so required always is going to happen. Even SD-WAN downtime is going to required because router is down means it's already down. But let's think we are talking about JTP process. If same thing is going to happen with the SD-WAN router, SD-WAN router went faulty, right? So what is going to happen? So the first step, definitely we need the RMA. That is required, right? Might be we require the AFI as well. We might be required, or we can help my local contact, local IT people, local IT support who can just do that. Third thing, we just need to connect LAN and WAN. Fourth, we have to give the power on. After doing this, my router will be fully configured and online. Do you guys think this is the magic? I haven't done any kind of the file backup, nothing I have done. I just get the new router, my local AP install in the rack, connect the LAN and WAN and power on. That's it. So basically there was no touching for the configuration side. Only you have to install the hardware and did the power on. That's the magic of the zero trust provisioning. So in legacy WAN, you have to do a lot of things, but in SD-WAN, you have to do very few things. Just you have to do basic thing and it is going to happen. But how this magic is going to happen, that you guys have to understand how JTP is going to work. But yes, for that you have to wait. When I explain the JTP process, I'll explain the end-to-end concept, how and what is the approach. So probably I'll explain one of the slide. Let me show you. So you guys are going to get complete step-by-step JTP process. So we will understand how the step-by-step JTP process is going. So we'll discuss later. But yes, this is the feature you might not going to find in the legacy WAN. Clear to everyone? Any question on it? Please let me know. If any question, please let me know. Okay. Now let's talk about Zero Trust Fabric. Similar to the ZTP, but they have totally different use case. Zero Trust Fabric. So what is a fabric? Anyone know what is a fabric? If I'm going to use the word SD-WAN fabric, what does mean? Anyone? If I'm going to use SD-WAN fabric, what does means? Any idea, guys?
Sir, SD-WAN network where all the SD-WAN components are communicating with each other with the zero trust and the zero touch provision.
Okay.
मीन्स SD-WAN की दुनिया में कोई भी ऐड होता है तो मीन्स उसकी एक फैब्रिक है.
Yeah, so fabric is nothing. You just think about your network topologies, or might be the entire end-to-end network which you're going to build. Like I build this topology. So this is like one fabric. We have the multiple branches, we have the data centers, we have the controller, and they're going to build a very solid network by just running different concept and protocols. And when I'm going to exchange the packet, data packet and control packet over that, that's known as the fabric. So the meaning of the fabric is nothing, it's just a topology and design which you're going to draw for the all region, all country, or might be the one country or multi-country. That's the fabric. But what is zero trust? Zero trust means you don't have to trust on anyone. Means let's suppose you build this house, right? And this is the entry gate, right? And you have the multiple family member, right, on the house. And might be they're going to out and they come again in. So you make a rule. You know they are my family member. You know very well they are my family member, and I know by face. But you tell to them, I have given a special code to you. Special code. Might be I'm going to give like any key. And I'm going to say, whenever you come and you want to enter, show me your key or particular code or tell me the code. I know by face, but even they are trying to enter in my home by main door, they must have to show. If they fail to show, I will not allow them to enter inside of my house. Even they are my family member. So there is the algorithm. I'm not going to trust anyone. Just take another example. Let's suppose in a company you're going for the interview. Let's suppose this is the one company, right? So company, you're going for the interview. So interview is going to taken by the HR, might be the screening round, then your manager, or might be your lead. And this is you, right? So when you enter this company, HR is going to ask something, manager is going to ask something, and lead is going to ask something. Finally, they know you, right? They know you, Mr. XYZ, come for the interview. They know your faces, right? They know you're working in the might be SCL and you give the interview for the Wipro, right? Or might be you're working for some other organization, AT&T, and give for the Verizon. So it could be any kind of the use case, but in all use case, you have to give the interview, and after giving the interview, they will release an offer letter. So offer is going to release for you, and you're going to get the offer letter. Now, date of joining. When the DOG is going to come, you come with your all documentations and your ID card. So they know you by your face, but still they will ask you show your credentials. Means they're going to ask you show me your documentation, show your credentials, and if you fail to showcase, right, they will not allow to enter the company. You have the offer letter, they know your face, but your credential must be there. And that is going to verified by your HR company, whether it's a valid or non-valid user. So your background is going to check. So there is no face value. Similarly, in SD-WAN, any devices want to communicate to the SD-WAN fabric. Means, let's suppose this is my vEdge router and want to talk to this vEdge router. Before this talking, they have to prove their identity with my controllers. And most important controller is my vBond. So they have to make sure have the right authentication with the vBond that is going to act as a HR, and he is going to make sure you are the right person who can talk to different your peers. Is this clear? Tell you everyone understand what is zero trust? You guys clear? So
Yes.
all right. So we discuss about the basic fundamentals about the SD-WAN. We discuss about the benefits of the SD-WAN. And now let's talk about the challenges with the what the WAN. So I already discussed we have the complex operation, high cost, limited scale, no cloud features available, security was fragmented, means you have to add some third party firewall and all, limited application aware, insufficient bandwidth, might be you're not going to use the link efficiently, disjoint solution means everywhere not have the right solutions. So because of that, you have this much problem. And that's why we have to use the SD-WAN to solve this problem. So that's the difference between the WAN versus SD-WAN. Now we have to talk about normal router versus SD-WAN router difference. But I don't want to talk today, probably in talk in the next class, Wednesday. But meanwhile, if you have any open questions, please ask me because already it's almost 1 hour, right? So I want, because initially we have to go very slow to build the very good foundations. So still we are doing the basic foundation discussion. So if you have any questions, open query, please ask me if you have anything in your mind so I can answer those query before I move to the next topic. Please.
Mm, can we make this topology in GNS3 also?
This is only GNS3. This topology you are seeing here, that is the GNS3 only. Okay.
Okay.
So you can make it, but you require the high resources. Means if you want to build this topology, I would say minimum, if you want to build the 3 branch, right?
Mm.
3 branch. Uh, so you have to require minimum 64 GB RAM, right?
Oh,
And
then it's very
yeah,
difficult, right?
yes, and also minimum, I would recommend not go for 64. At least you should go and use the 128 GB to make very good lab. But still, if you have 64, you can add 2 branch, one controllers like that. And also you have to use the CPU minimum uh 18 to 20. So they are going to work very fine. So that's the high requirement for this kind of the lab topology. So no worry, if we are starting the session, you all are going to get a lab from our side, and this lab is going to be accessible from the anywhere. You just require the internet access. And the same topology which I'm going to use, you guys also going to use the same topology, and we'll configure from scratch. We'll do the configuration from scratch, from zero. So you don't have to worry about anything. I'll just talk step by step how the configuration is going to happen. So most probably after this week, we'll start the configuration because this week probably we'll build the foundation, but after this week, we'll have to the actual configuration. So once we start the configuration, most of the thing we have to do the configuration. So before configuration, the most important part, you have to prepare yourself for the interview. Because in an interview, they ask for this tricky questions. What is the WAN? What is the SD-WAN? So you have to give the logical answer. What is the routing protocol? What is the routing protocol? What is the underlay? What is the overlay? So you have to understand what is the normal router concept? What is the SD-WAN router concept? So I'll discuss in next class why the architecture, how the packet is going to be forwarded. Any other questions, guys? Anyone have any other questions?
Sir, for the LAN side, if we are using non-Cisco router like Aruba and all, so will it hamper or it will work? I mean, LAN side, I'm talking
It
about
will
LAN
work.
side.
It will work. If you are using the LAN side, it will work. That is not mandatory use the Cisco.
All right. And the second thing, sir, what about the AWS part? I mean, the cloud environment if we having. So for that, it will support or manually we need to, I mean, if any company is using AWS and for that, how it will be configured.
So AWS deployment method is totally different, right? So I will
Okay.
tell about the concept. We have the two concept, cloud on the RAM for the SaaS. Let me show you. There is a concept cloud on the RAM for the SaaS and cloud on RAM for the IaaS, right? These two things I'll explain, right? But lab is not possible, but I'll explain what is the use case and why you use this cloud on RAM for the, SaaS applications. So probably I'll
Okay.
do this. So here you are going to see if I want to deploy the controllers or might be vEdge router with the cloud providers, so how this architecture is going to look like and which case we are going to use. So this required the proper licensing from the cloud side. Also, we require the deployment. So that infra is not available with us in lab. It's not possible.
Okay.
Okay, to be honest.
And
So
sir, what about the Palo Alto? I have seen that here all I mean in the Palo Alto they have mentioned the SD-WAN thing as well. So like you said that we don't need
this
a
is the
firewall.
like. Let me clarify one thing.
Uh,
If we talk about the SD-WAN, right? So SD-WAN vendors are too much in the market. Means what we are going to discuss, that is a Cisco SD-WAN, which is known as the Viptela as well, right? Which is known as the Catalyst SD-WAN as well, right? Now we have the different vendor, that is the Palo Alto SD-WAN, right? We have the FortiGate SD-WAN. We have the Silver Peak SD-WAN, right? We have the Nokia Nuaz SD-WAN, right? We have
Cloud.
Versa SD-WAN, right? A lot of vendors. We have the G-Scaler SD-WAN, right? And also we have the Velo Cloud SD-WAN, Velo, right? So you can find a lot of SD-WAN. So these are the different SD-WAN can support by different vendor. So we are not going to cover these all in this course, right? If you have the specific requirement, Versa we cover, that is a very popular. So Versa is going to be differentiation, but Cisco is widely used. So we are going to cover this Cisco SD-WAN. These are all the three. I'll explain about this. So if you have the Palo SD-WAN, so you have to learn Palo Alto SD-WAN separately. FortiGate SD-WAN, you have to learn but concept is going to be same. All controller based, only the deployment is going to be totally different. You can think about this way. Let's suppose you have to work on there's a requirement. Let's suppose you want to work on the router. This router can be Cisco, can be Juniper, right? Here you can configure the BGP, OSPF, and RIP, static. Is also you can do that. But can this engineer can do this work? The answer is no, unless or until he know the product. Yes. So this must be like you must be familiar with the concept of the protocols. So BGP is going to be same for the both case, but the doing the configuration is going to be different. So that we have to understand.
Yeah, but sir, my question is this: like, I mean, in the infrastructure, usually we use Palo Alto firewall. So if you go to your technology, I mean, your topology, sir. So on that, if any Palo Alto is there, like suppose if you go to your topology side, so in this topology, if we have one Palo Alto, so how it will be? I mean, is this SD-WAN will work or not?
Definitely it will work. Let's suppose this is my firewall, right? If I replace with the Palo Alto firewall, it can be integrated. There is a provision we can integrate it. There's no problem at all.
Okay,
We can do
okay,
that. Yeah, we
yeah,
can
I'm
integrate.
clear. Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome, Raju. Any other question, guys? Okay, so if no question, right? Thank you so much, you guys, for your time, right? And okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, no. So, what I can do, we'll further conduct the next session by this Wednesday. So we'll connect there, and we have the next class. Okay, clear, everyone?
Sure.
Yeah.
Pankaj,
Yeah.
Thank you.
what will be the class timing?
The same 8:30 it is going to be start. Same time,
Uh,
8 to 10, right? It is going to be happen. So initially it is going to be slow. But once we have the good pace, we'll go in the at least 1.5 hour session for
Okay, from 8:30 to 10.
right for 3 days in a week. Okay.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
All right, guys. Have a great day, great evening. Bye bye. Take care.